Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nerd Collision. I'm Eddie, that's Britt, that's Brandon, and that's Ray. And today we are going to be giving our spoiler review of the Sandman Season 1, Episodes 7 and 8. Now, this is going to be our spoiler review. If you have not been able to watch the episode, that's okay. Pause our video, go ahead and watch, and come back and listen to our review. With that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get started with a quick summary of Episode 7 titled The Doll's House. Now, in 2015, Rose Walker and her brother, Jed, are separated when their parents divorce. In 2021, following the death of both parents, Jed is placed in the foster home system despite Rose's attempt to locate him and claim legal guardianship. Rose is unknowingly a vortex, a being who naturally attracts and manipulates dreams, and Desire and their twin sister, Despair, conspire to use Rose against Morpheus. Aware of Rose's nature, Morpheus plans to use her to track three errant residents of the Dreaming who are still at large. Rose and her friend Lita Hall travel to England to meet Unity Kincaid, a wealthy, recovered victim of sleep sickness. Unity reveals that she is Rose's biological great grandmother. Unity offers to fund Rose's search for Jed, and Rose and Lita travel to Florida. Unable to locate Jed in either the dreaming or the waking world, Lucian and Morpheus deduce that the rogue dream Galt has severed Jed's consciousness from the dreaming. Rose approaches Lucian and Morpheus in the dreaming for assistance in finding Jed. Meanwhile, the Corinthian, hunting for Rose, is invited as a guest of honor for a serial killer convention. Now, that ends episode 7, and this is pretty interesting to see. That we're meeting someone who's actually a vortex, someone who can manipulate dreams, and I never even thought of something like that. I thought that was a pretty cool concept. But outside of that, what do you guys think of this episode?
Sorry, go ahead, Brett.
No, go ahead. You first.
That's it. I loved it. I've loved watching the show. I love the diversity all up and through. This was a very interesting episode, like learning about what Rose is and how she could impact so many things. Also, it's nice seeing the other endless people, like Despair and Desire, conspiring, and I'm really interested to see where that goes with them because I said this is like our first time we're getting to see the other siblings and everything. Desire, like he's very intriguing. He really gives me him vibes from the Powerpuff Girls. Like I love like how like fluid he is or they are. Yeah, seeing Rose go into the dreaming and talk to Morpheus and Lucina just like showed you how powerful she is. And like I said, I'm really interested to see how that goes. The whole thing with her and her brother, it's sad to see because it can be so relatable to so many people about losing, being separated from a sibling, and that sibling had to be in foster care. And the foster care worker, you wasn't mad at her because she was just doing her job, but to that extent, not well enough because when you see Jad, you see his situation, and it's frustrating but also relatable. Also, the Caribbean, like when you see the people talking and you really didn't like, I didn't catch it at first what they were talking about, and then oh no, they're all killers and they want to have a convention only in America. Um, but yeah, I've loved this show and I'm excited to see what happens next.
I mean, I like the part of a vortex as a human. That's what I really like. Like now, she can get into anybody's dream. Hop, skip, diddly do. But that's all I have to say. But it's really cool. It is really cool how you always think of a vortex as like a place or maybe an object, but not as an actual person. So I thought that was really cool. That's about it.
All right, same here.
Yeah, I didn't see it for Teeth Eyes and his shenanigans. I'm kind of over him at this point. Everything he says, I just yawn and I look at my imaginary watch on my hand, and I'm just like, "Girl, next scene. I'm over you." I actually like Rose, like she's sickening to me, and it gave me um, I kind of got like Harry Potter vibes from it a little bit, but at the same time, I like that because the character originally in the comics, I believe, is white, and I like that they made her black because I'm like, girl, like, no shade to Neil. I hope this wasn't intentional, but girl, like, literally everybody who's black on this damn show is either a servant for this damn white man, and I don't like seeing that shit. Yeah, it was just nice to see someone who's black, with some type of abilities or something, who's not, serving Mister Morpheus. Like, girl, move around. Like, no shade. Like, I love your haircut and everything. You're sickening in your own right. But I'm tired of seeing everyone being like, "Yes, porridge." Like, girl, move around. Like, so I'm Team Rose. And fuck Corinthius, whatever her name is, and her teeth, mouth, eyes. I'm so over her. So over. Get rid of her.
Guys, with that being said, we'll move on to episode 8, and this is titled Playing House. Despite Lucian's protests, Morpheus agrees to help Rose locate Jed. During the day, Rose and the other guests at the bed and breakfast post signs around Cape Kennedy, which attracts the attention of the Corinthian. That night, Morpheus and Rose travel through the dreams of the guests, eventually crossing into Jed's dreams, which Galt has manipulated to provide an emotional escape from Jed's abusive foster father. Morpheus rebukes and punishes Galt for stepping outside her duties, though Galt maintains that she disobeyed because she believed it was in Jed's best interest. Meanwhile, Lyta seemingly reunites with her deceased husband Hector in the dreaming. Hector attempts to convince Lyta to stay in the dreaming and have a baby with him. When Lyta wakes up, she is visibly pregnant. The Corinthian locates Jed and murders his foster parents, kidnapping Jed to lure Rose to the serial killer convention. And that's where we end this episode. This was a very interesting episode. The fact that Lyda was able to meet with her deceased husband in the dreaming was really interesting. Of course, I think anyone, whenever you lose a loved one, that's something that you would want to do and communicate with them. So that's part really struck a nerve with me. But for you guys, what did you guys think of this episode?
Very interesting. Like seeing, like in the case of Lily and her deceased husband, like seeing him in the dreaming, like it's like so many levels to this. Like a spirit can, it's kind of like he was like he went to dream as a limbo, so he wouldn't have to move on, and he was able to connect with his wife in a way. And I think it opens up the possibility of just wondering what that would be like if you could reunite with someone you lost in like your dreams, and what that would entail. The whole thing with Galt, I felt was really strongly compelling because she is well, her purpose was to be a nightmare. But in Morpheus's absence, she kind of went out and did her own thing. And the conversation that they had before about being able to change. And I love Morpheus, but I do feel like he is a bit rigid at times. I mean, if any out of everyone, he should be able to understand change and people not want to just be one thing. He's the dreaming. So the fact that God went to Jed to be a relief for him in his, because I mean this boy has been through hell with these awful people. The father more so than the auntie, but I mean she was never strong enough to just call the police or get this. You see what this child's going through, and you're not strong enough to get him away from that because you're scared of this man. This I'm so happy Corinthian killed that man. Just putting it out there. He deserved to die for putting that beautiful little black boy through hell. But yeah, I felt that was a really strong conversation for between God and Morpheus about being able to change and and pretty much that. Um, Caribbean gets around everywhere like quickly. I guess because he's from the dream. He travel is no issue for him, and he found Rose, and now they have this series project coming up, which is just crazy. Again, I love the levels of the show. You have like your lighthearted moments and more serious moments, but it all blends together so well. But that's probably my favorite part of that episode, the conversation between Garth and Morpheus.
How do you get? So wait a minute. I got questions. So you got pregnant in a dream. That. Uh,
Like the way I looked at it is like more so like an alternate like reality, like different dimension, where it's a possibility. I mean, again, I don't try to think too hard on
then
it.
I should have been pregnant by Chris Evans a long time ago. A long time ago. Like, if there is a possibility, why am I not pregnant now?
All of us.
What
honey,
is going
all
on?
All of
Like, I just was
I
like,
Well, let's keep in mind you no longer have to dream about it because he did say that he is laser focused, no Buzz Lightyear pun intended, on finding a partner. So there is a chance for you to get pregnant by him still.
and if
So
it's in
keep that
a
in mind.
dream, so be it. I did like the episode and, like, you know, stay here with me. Bitch, what? Talking to my dead you know what? I just can't. Go ahead, Brandon. I just should have been pregnant a
Yeah,
long time ago.
Mr. Dream, for someone who's against slavery, you sure like black people sit and stay in their place where they belong. Now I got my eye on you, bitch, with one eye open, bitch. Like you got some nerve telling Miss Thing, oh, you're supposed to be a nightmare. You're supposed to scare these niggas out here. Like, girl, you got some nerve. You got some fucking nerve to be telling her that. You're so cold and heartless and nasty. You got your shit back, okay? You beat lesbian Lucifer. Like, why are you mad? Why are you so pressed? You won, bitch. You won. You beat Lupin, Remus, whatever his name is, the werewolf man. Like, calm that down. And if it wasn't for the black people who are in your servitude, okay, you wouldn't be where you are today. So
That's
not too
true.
much. Not too much. That's all I have to say.
That was perfect. All right, guys, great reviews by everyone. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought about these episodes. Remember to click the bell button for notifications so that you know whenever we have new videos here on the channel. And please follow Nerd Collision on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Once again, I'm Eddie. That's Britt. That's Brandon. That's Ray. We are Nerd Collision. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.